Okay, so welcome everyone. So today we are embarking on an expanded, comprehensive journey into Philippine historical and heritage site. Our goal isn't just to memorize dates and places, but to understand how history is constructed or how to actively research it, and also how to appreciate both our tangible and intangible heritage. Okay, here we will cover research methodologies, archival tools, and embark on a chronological tour of some of the country's most significant cultural sites. Our underlying theme is moving from being passive consumers of history to active participants in the national narrative. Okay, so we often think of history as something fixed in the past. However, the historian, and by extension, any student of history, is an agent of change. So, by researching archives, collecting life histories, and visiting shrines, we breathe life into old narratives. History is continuously rewritten as new perspectives and evidence emerge. By understanding our past, we gain the analytical tools necessary to critique and shape our contemporary society, ensuring that marginalized voices are finally heard. Okay, so before we dive into specific sites, so we must define heritage. So what is heritage? So it is heritage is broadly categorized into tangible and intangible. No? So when we say tangible heritage, it includes the physical spaces we can touch and visit, tulad ng intramuros or yung rice terraces. While yung mga intangible heritage is the living culture. No? Like for example, yung mga ipugaw, traditional weaving techniques, yung mga hood-hood chants, Okay, so a holistic appreciation of heritage requires us to protect both the physical monuments and of course yung mga living traditions of the people who maintain them. Okay, so in the digital age, our first stop is often cyberspace. Diba? Okay. However, basic Googling isn't enough. Researchers must use strategic searching. So, employing Boolean operators, mga exact phrases, mga specific domain filters. So, we emphasize tools tulad ng Google Scholar because it filters out the noise of the general internet and nagpo-provide ito ng access to to sa mga peer-reviewed, mga vetted academic work. So Google Book is an incredible time saver, allowing researchers to preview, scan the historical volumes to determine if a physical trip to the archives is necessary. Okay, so the abundance of online information brings the danger of historical distortion. So, yeah. So, we must apply a rigorous evaluation framework tulad ng CRAAP test. So, who is the author? What is their authority to speak on the subject? Are there claims backed by evidence? So, ito yung mga question na dapat nating isaalang-alang. So, in an era where historical revisionism can spread rapidly via social media, the historian's ability to critically analyze the accuracy and purpose of a digital source is a vital civic skill. Okay, yung mga digital libraries, it democratize access to history. While Wikipedia is often shunned in academia, no? So dahil nga ito ay open source, so it is still a brilliant launchpad if you use it to mine for citations and primary sources. Yung Project Gutenberg is invaluable for Philippine history. No? So hosting out of copyright, yung mga out of copyright classics, including yung mga English translation of Spanish colonial texts, like the monumental Blair and Robertson volumes. The internet also the internet archives also acts as the memory of the web, no? Ensuring that even yung mga deleted government pages or older digital books remain accessible for researchers. Okay, so despite the wealth of digital data, the vast majority of historical documents are not digitized. Physical repositories remain the bedrock of scholarship. The OPAC, or the Online Public Access Catalog, has revolutionized how we search, allowing us to build a preliminary bibliography from home. Okay, however, once inside the archive, researchers must practice strict etiquette. Diba? So using pencils, sometimes wearing gloves, if required, and respecting the fragility of centuries-old paper to preserve it for future generations. Okay, so the Philippines has two main pillars for archival research. One of them is the National Library of the Philippines, located ito in Ermita. No? It is the repository of published works, mga rare books, and presidential papers. While yung National Archives of the Philippines is distinct. It holds the raw, unpublished bureaucratic records of the state dating back to the Spanish era. Navigating the NAP, or the National Archives of the Philippines, requires reliance on dedicated archivists and finding aids, as these documents are not indexed like a traditional library. Okay, so a fundamental concept in historical research is distinguishing between primary and secondary sources. So as we all know, a primary source is an eyewitness to history. Mga example nito, yung mga letters na written by Bonifacio, for example, or a picture of the Philippine-American War, no? Or an original birth certificate. No? So yun yung mga primary sources natin. Whereas yun namang secondary source, katulad ng mga modern textbook natin, analyzes those primary documents. So to write original history, yung mga researchers ay dapat mag-seek out sa mga primary sources. As relying solely kasi sa mga secondary sources, para ka lang nag-rely sa someone else's interpretation. Okay, so to grasp the magnitude of our history, consider that the National Archives houses approximately 60 million documents. So this is a staggering scale of national memory. So nakapalaob dito yung mga land deeds, mga royal decrees, mga civil registries, mga court cases spanning hundreds of years. So the sheer volume makes complete digitization a monumental and a multi-generational task. For a researcher, this means there are millions of untold stories, local histories, and micro-histories just waiting to be uncovered. Okay, biographical research. Okay, it bridges the gap between massive historical events and human experience. When we study a life, we are looking at a dynamic, unique trajectory. So the goal of a historian writing a biography isn't just to list a person's accomplishments, but to historicize them. So we must ask, how did the economic conditions, yung political climate, yung cultural norms of their time shape their decisions? So through the lens of one person's life, we can understand the broader micro history of the nation. Okay, so for a long time, Philippine history has been largely Manila-centric, which means nagpo-focus lang ito sa capital and sa mga national figures. Yung local history is the vital corrective to this imbalance. By researching the history of specific provinces, yung mga history ng towns or even barangays, we can uncover how grand national events katulad ng revolution or a war were actually experienced on the ground by ordinary people. So local history empowers communities by validating their specific heritage and contributions to the nation. Okay, so what happens when the people who made history couldn't write? No? So maraming ganyan. Or were actively excluded from official government records. So this is why, or this is where oral history is crucial because it relies on the memory of subjects and witnesses through recorded interviews. While traditional positivist historians used to dismiss oral history as, sabi nga nila, unreliable daw ito compared sa mga written text. Yung mga modern historians, they recognize that it is often the only way to capture the history of indigenous peoples, yung mga laborers and marginalized groups. Memory itself becomes a valid historical document. Now, we shift to the physical sites, starting with our deepest roots. Okay, the Tabon Caves in Palawan, are critical. They yielded the remains of the Tabon man. Nagpapatunay ito ng human habitation tens of thousands of years ago. And then more recently, yung Callao Cave in Cagayan, nagkaroon ng mga global headlines dito nung ma-discover yung previously unknown human species, yung Homo luzonensis. So these sites are profound reminders that our history did not begin with colonization. We have a rich ancient heritage of migration, adaptation, and survival. Okay, so another one, yung rice terraces of the Philippines in Cordilleras represent an apex of indigenous engineering. So, carved into the mountains by the ancestors of the Ifugao over 2,000 years ago, they are not just farms. They are a complex gravity-fed irrigation system. So this site is vital because it disproves the colonial myth that prehispanic Filipinos lacked sophisticated social organization or engineering skills, as the Spaniards said. So the terraces required communal cooperation para maitayo ito, magawa ito, and profound ecological knowledge to maintain. Okay, so during this Spanish era, architecture was used as a tool for empire. So yung Intramuros in Manila represents the fortress of power. Nakadesign ito para protektahan yung religious and political elite. Conversely, sa Bigan, Ilocos Sur, yung historic city na to is the best preserved example of a planned Spanish colonial town in Asia. So what makes Bigan uniquely Filipino is the bahay na bato architecture. No? This is a brilliant adaptation of European aesthetics using local materials and techniques to withstand earthquakes and typhoons. Okay, so the Spanish friars brought European Baroque architecture to the Philippines. But the archipelago's frequent earthquakes forced a massive adaptation. Okay, so the result is earthquake Baroque, no, kung tawagin natin. Tulad ng mga churches sa Hawaii, which feature massive side buttresses to prevent collapse. Moreover, these structures were built by indigenous and Chinese artisans who subtly incorporated their own cultural motifs into the designs, such as the papaya and coconut trees intricately carved into the facade of the Miag-Ao Church in Iloilo. Okay, historical shrines act as portals, no? Which allows us to step into the spaces where the nation was forged. Okay, so one of them is the Aguinaldo Shrine in Kawit, Cavite. No? So this is the very balcony where the flag was first officially raised in 1898. Another one is the Marcelo F. del Pilar Shrine in Bulacan. So it pays tribute to the intellectual engine of the propaganda movement. Standing in these ancestral homes connects researchers and students viscerally to the sacrifices made by our founders. And not all heritage sites are ancient. So there is this Expo Filipino. So it was constructed in Clark, Pampanga as the centerpiece for the 1998 Philippine Centennial celebrations. It is an example of modern monumental architecture designed to celebrate the entirety of our history, showcasing regional cultures and the narrative of our struggle for freedom. It highlights how the state utilizes space to commemorate massive historical milestones. Okay, so Jose Rizal's life is powerfully anchored by two key sites at opposite ends of his life. So the Calambas Shrine, a reconstructed traditional bahay na bato, represents the agrarian disputes and yung mga kalupitan, mga injustices that formed his revolutionary intellect. Yung Dapitan Shrine is entirely different. It showcases his life in exile. So here, we see the physical remnants of Rizal, the doctor, Rizal, the teacher, and Rizal as an engineer who built water systems and clinics. So proving his commitment to nation building even while in prison. Okay, so the 20th century brought the American era and the devastation of World War II. Yung Corregidor Island stands frozen in time. So its ruined barracks and massive gun batteries bearing witness to the fierce defense of the Philippines in 1942. Yun namang Mount Samat Shrine in Bataan and the grim trail of the death markers are vital sites of memory. They compel us to remember the profound trauma, yung mga suffering, and ultimate valor of both Filipino and American soldiers. Okay, returning to Manila, we have the National Museum Complex, which includes the National Museum of Fine Arts, housed in the magnificent former legislative building, is a temple of visual heritage, most famously housing Juan Luna's colossal spoliarium. Okay, so doon natin makikita yung painting ni Juan Luna, yung original painting ni Juan Luna na Spoliarium, which won gold medal in European art expositions. So the adjacent Museum of Anthropology holds our pre-colonial artifacts, ancient scripts, like the Laguna copper plate inscription, and mga ethnographic materials, offering a comprehensive view of the diverse cultures that make up the Filipino identity. Okay, the third pillar of the complex is the National Museum of Natural History. So it is located in the retrofitted former Department of Tourism building. So its stunning interior is centered around a tree of life architectural marvel. So this museum is crucial because our history cannot be divorced from our geography. Okay, so the Philippine archipelago is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, and understanding our unique flora and fauna at saka yung mga geological formation is an essential part of appreciating our holistic national heritage. As historians, we practice historiography. So we question how, history is written and whose voices are left out. So we must apply this same vigilance to heritage conservation. Our historical sites face immense threats from rapid urbanization. Kasama na rin yung neglect at saka yung climate change. So it is our civic duty to be familiar with laws like the National Cultural Heritage Act or RA 10066. Okay? So itong act na to, batas na to, ay nagpo-protect dito sa mga properties na to. No? So conservation ensures that the primary sources of our physical landscape remain intact for the next generation to study. So to conclude, history is not a spectator sport. So it requires engagement. We challenge you to apply the research skills discussed today. You have to go to the archives, conduct an oral history interview with your grandparents, or visit a local shrine. So by actively interacting with these portals to the past, you transition from learning history to participating in the ongoing narrative of the Philippine nation. Okay, so thank you for your time. Okay, so are there any questions? Okay, so if none, please study study our lecture for today. I will upload this in YouTube, and then next meeting you will have your quiz regarding this topic. Thank you very much, and bye for now. God bless.